For what purpose does the gentleman from Kentucky seek recognition?
Madam Chairwoman, I move to strike the last word.
The gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, and I'd like to associate myself with the comments of my colleagues and also congratulate and thank my colleague, the gentlewoman from Ohio, for her leadership on this issue. And I appreciate your attention to the importance of financial literacy and housing counseling, especially for first-time homebuyers. And I'm impressed with the data that has been offered that shows that financial literacy counseling can, in fact, have a tangible benefit in terms of lowering default risk. And I, too, am interested in the CBO score that will show that mortgage insurance premium rebates or reductions as part of a financial counseling program can really have benefits not just to the home buyer but also to the taxpayer. And I would just add that if the CBO score comes back and it demonstrates that we're going to lower the risk to both the first-time home buyers who benefit from the FHA and also to the taxpayers, that we ought to also consider extending the financial literacy counseling program to all taxpayer-guaranteed mortgages. And so we'll be looking for that CBO analysis to determine whether or not this is worthy of extension to all taxpayer-guaranteed mortgages. And with that, again, I congratulate the gentlelady from Ohio and yield back.
Will the gentleman yield?
I will.
I thank the gentleman for yielding, and I also want to applaud my good friend and our chairman of the Diversity and Inclusion Subcommittee, Ms. Beatty, and the author of H.R. 2162. This highlights the important role that financial literacy can play in the housing market and beyond. In this economy, financial literacy is so very important, as the ranking member brought up, whether it has to do with student loans, whether it has to do with Pell Grants, whether it has to do with the FHA. I do believe we should give FHA the maximum flexibility that they need. I do believe 25 basis points in this environment is a lot, so flexibility is important there, and we're glad we're going to get a CBO score. And I also agree with my friend from Kentucky, Mr. Barr, that frankly, counseling for all homeowners, not just first-time homeowners, ought to be included, especially those that have defaulted on a mortgage previously or maybe have a debt problem. So while I'd like to see this expanded, I do believe that this is a step in the right direction. I applaud the gentlelady from Ohio's work on this, and I am supportive, and I yield my time back to the gentleman from Kentucky. Thank you.
Well, thank you to my friend from Missouri. And just to conclude, once again, I want to thank the gentlelady from Ohio and my friend, Mr. Stivers from Ohio, for their leadership on this. And the goal here is we want all homeowners, and especially first-time homeowners, to be successful. We want to empower them to have the financial wherewithal to avoid foreclosure, to be successful, to demonstrate their ability to afford their homes and repay their loans. And I believe that this legislation will reduce risk for both homeowners and taxpayers, and therefore I urge all my colleagues to support the legislation, and I yield back.